Okay, we are streaming.
Just to confirm, Katie, you can see the PowerPoint slide?
Correct, I can see it.
Okay, great. Hi, Daniel.
Hello.
Can you hear me okay?
Perfectly.
I want to make sure that you are visible on the screen.
Let me
So
turn
I
my
am
video on.
wondering
Oh,
if,
let me turn my light up a bit.
no worries. I just have the PowerPoint presentation up, and I want to make sure that you're able to be seen as well.
See, you could spotlight, excuse me, you could spotlight the interpreters if you could do that.
I have Katie here, who is my tech support. So Katie, do you know how to do that?
I am working on that. I've allowed multiple pins, but let's see if I can. I think I can hit pin. But that just.
Yeah, pin just is what you will see, not what the audience will see.
Okay, let's remove pin.
Maybe when I share my screen, I have to do something. I'm going to give that a try. I'm going to unshare and then share. Let's double check here really quick. Post.
Oh, here. I think I have to allow multiple panelists to share simultaneously, I think. Let's try that.
Let me see really quick here. Screens. Let me see if this works. We will figure this out. Let me undo and redo it.
Oh, here, I'm spotlighting for everyone. There, let's switch to shared content. Let's remove spotlight. Spotlight.
So I'm not sharing right now, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, so when you share the one screen,
I want to share
you're sharing and your face is up over the
is it the blank black screen?
PowerPoint. Yeah.
So how do we make that Daniel's face?
Do you see Jenna Marita in the waiting room as an attendee? If you could elevate her to a panelist, she's my team.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. Oh. I think if we do a gallery view,
Don't. Know how to put Daniel on the screen. Hi, Jenna. We're trying to add your faces to the screen. But we're not sure yet how to do it. So we're gonna-
Okay. Yeah, I know that the webinars are different than the meeting rooms, so it's a different setup.
Definitely. Katie, I'm going to Google.
Yeah, as I am looking on the Zoom support, I'm sorry, I didn't realize we didn't have this.
To the interpretation settings.
Icon.
It says, Katie, to when scheduling the meeting, navigate to the interpretation settings and click Add Sign Language Interpreter to include the details of the second interpreter during the live meeting. You can manage their visibility and audio channels through the interpretation settings in the Zoom toolbar.
We have. I can go to the Zoom.
For folks that are logged in, we're just trying to figure out some technical pieces here, and then we should get started. It might be a little bit after 5:30 if that's okay. We want to make sure that our ASL interpreters can be seen. Any luck, Katie?
Not specifically, because the meeting is already set up, I can't change the settings, but I can. Oh,
What do you
hey,
see right now? What do you see on the screen right now? Just the PowerPoint?
we see you in the PowerPoint.
Hmm.
We're gonna. But we see we see the interpreters above you.
Okay,
So they can be seen.
okay. So how do let me see if I spotlight for everyone. Can I spotlight? Do you see?
This is,
Jenna, go ahead.
yeah, this is, yes, that should work. I'm also looking at the YouTube live stream and now I see Daniel. I think if you can spotlight me also, then
Does that work right there?
I still only see Daniel in the live stream.
I think we can only spotlight one at a time, but when we switch, then we can switch the spotlight.
Okay. So for now, we do have Daniel can be seen on the live stream, correct?
I guess there's a spotlight for.
Yeah, I could see both of them, both him and I switching, but it seems only one person at a time.
Okay, so when you guys switch, just let me know. And then I will be sure to change the spotlight, I think. I mean, I have you both on spotlight, so I'm wondering if it's just when you, I don't know.
I think you'll need to, yeah. Actually, can we try one thing? Can we have both of our videos up at the same time and have a spotlight at the same time? And I'll try to turn my video off and see if it defaults to Daniel's. Let's see.
Okay, you are both on spotlight.
Okay. I see Daniel now. And I just see Daniel. Could you spotlight? Oh, I guess we're both spotlit now.
How about if
I
I turn mine off and
yeah,
we see
try
if
to
they see you?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, if you turn yours off, then it defaults to me. And then let's see if I turn mine off. Now no one's there.
Yeah.
Oh, I think there's a delay also in the YouTube webinar streaming. So I'm not quite sure who's up or not. It's a little bit delayed.
Okay. Does Daniel appear now?
There's a kind of quite a significant delay in the live stream. I don't see anybody now on the live stream.
Okay, I'm gonna remove both of you and then try again. And then spotlight Daniel right now. Let's see if Daniel comes up. Folks, if you're online, thank you very much for your patience. We are just trying to make sure that we can have our ASL interpreter be visible to everybody on the screen. So we are confirming with our ASL interpreters at this point that they can view themselves when they are on YouTube.
I do see Daniel on YouTube.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Helena Kesh, and I am with Oregon Parks and Recreation Department. Welcome to our public hearing on general park area rules. This meeting is open to the public, and there is a portion of where I will be reading the suggested updates to the general park area rules. And it's just really going to do a high level overview of some of the suggested changes or the proposed changes. And then there'll be an opening for public comment. And that is at a specific time within this presentation where individuals will have 3 minutes to make a public comment. So when we get to that point, I will let you know, and then we will promote you so that you can be heard providing your public comment. So I will go ahead and get started. So today's agenda is really to cover the background of why we're making these proposed changes to the general park area rules. What are those proposed updates? We'll open it up for question and answer, which is just really generic question and answers about the process. And then there'll be the opportunity for public comment. So a little bit of background. Division 10 is where our general park area rules reside, and they are intended to guide the public use of our park properties throughout the state. The division includes rules around the use of motor vehicles, bicycles, boats, and animals in parks, as well as day use and overnight campground use. The proposed changes will address management issues that staff have faced as the visitation grows. It'll make the rules and penalties clear and provide more flexibility for managers to provide public services when possible. The proposed rule update will update and clarify definitions such as recreational vehicles to include sprinter vans, buses, and utility trailers that have been modified for temporary sleeping. There's also a proposed rule update to overnight campground stay limit to no more than 14 consecutive days in a 30-day period to match most national parks. And it will also include language about traditional use for members of a federally recognized Oregon tribe. These are just a few highlights of the proposed rule updates. I just want to make very clear that the proposed rule update will not change or alter the boundary of where nudity is allowed at Rooster Rock State Park. And the reason I bring this up now is because we've received lots and lots of emails from individuals providing public comment through our email system with concerns about some of the language that was in that portion of our rule. And the draft language suggestion was intended to help clarify and simplify the terminology that we used for that boundary, but it seemed to make people believe that we were actually going to change or modify the boundary, and that is definitely not the intent. So staff are going to make a recommendation to not move forward with that proposed change to that portion of the rule and just leave it as is. And I've emailed responses to most everyone who's provided a public comment to let them know. So I just want to make that clear here at the forefront. This next section is basically where I will read through some of the changes that we are proposing. And this is just going to be me reading this section aloud. It could be a little dry, so I will try to keep it flowing. And where there are no changes proposed, I'm going to just kind of skip through that. So this is just to highlight what are some of the places where we decided to make some changes. And if you have any comments about that, you're welcome to provide a public comment afterwards. But right now it's just going to be me reading this aloud. So under the definition section of Oregon Administrative Rule 736.010.0015, number 1, we have the word boat. Updated means all watercraft as defined in the Oregon Revised Statute 830.005, Section 2. Further, we're removing and kind of cleaning up day use area and district manager. We're kind of making this more alphabetical, so those definitions will be further down the page. Number 2, the word camping means the setting up of a tent or shelter, preparing bedding for use, parking of a motor vehicle, RV, or other similar equipment, or mooring of a vessel for the purpose of overnight occupancy. Number 3, the word camping unit is defined as means a tent, camper, camping trailer, RV, or other shelter designed to be used as a personal living space while camping. Further in the definition section, number 4, the word criminal trespass means the crime of remaining or unlawfully re-entering a park property during the period of time in which a violator has been ordered to leave or excluded. Criminal trespass in the second degree, Oregon Revised Statute 164.245, is a Class C misdemeanor, citable only by law enforcement. Let's skip down to number 6, where we define dawn means 30 minutes prior to sunrise as calculated by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. An update there to the change from the U.S. Naval Observatory. Number 7, day use is defined as those activities which are authorized to occur in an area between dawn and dusk. Number 8, day use area is defined as a park property or portion of a park property that the department has designated for day use only. 10, designate is defined as administratively assign and approve for a specific status or activity. Number 12, district manager means the immediate supervisor of park managers within a specified geographic region of the state. Number 13, domestic animals is defined as means an animal other than livestock or equines that is owned or possessed by a person. 14, updating the word dusk means 30 minutes after sunset as calculated by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. 15, electric assisted bicycle means vehicle defined under Oregon's revised statute 801.258. Further down the definition section, number 19, highway means every public way, road, street, thoroughfare, and place, including bridges, viaducts, and other structures within the boundaries of this state, open, used, or intended for use of the general public for vehicles or vehicular traffic as a matter of right, as described in ORS 801.305. Number 20, livestock means birds, avians, horses, mules, jackasses, cattle, llamas, alpacas, sheep, goats, swine, domesticated fowl, and any fur-bearing animal bred and maintained commercially or otherwise within pens, cages, and hutches. Number 21, motor vehicle means a vehicle that is self-propelled or designed for self-propulsion as defined in Oregon Revised Statute 801.360. 22, for order to leave means the administrative action that orders a violator to leave a specific park property or properties for up to 72 hours, 3 nights. 24, overnight facility means everything within the campground, including showers, campsites, cabins, yurts, parking areas associated with camping, and other facilities for use by overnight visitors. 1 second here as I go and change my.
I was able to do that, Helena, so you can keep going.
Perfect. Thank you. 25, pack animal means equines, llamas, alpacas, and goats. The next one is park property means any state park, natural area, greenway, wayside, corridor, scenic area, monument, historic structure or area, trail or recreation area under the jurisdiction of the department. So we just added the word greenway there. And you'll see that all the numbering changes. So those are just formats. We'll change that when it actually goes to final draft. Further down the line in 32, public indecency has the meaning defined in Oregon Revised Statute 163.465. Number 33, recreational vehicle, parentheses RV, parentheses, means motor vehicles, campers or trailers, or similar type vehicles with living areas intending for temporary sleeping, including vehicles converted to serve this purpose, such as sprinter vans, buses, and utility trailers. For the definition of service animal, we just included means any dog or miniature horse, as defined by the ADA at the federal level. Down to 36, we updated state park website with the actual web address. Number 38, violator means a person or visitor who violates any state park rule, federal, state, county, or city law, or court order while on state park property. 40, wildlife means fish, shellfish, amphibians and reptiles, wild birds, and other wild mammals. And under wheelchair, we updated that. Manually operated. Actually, it's the same thing. I think we just did a correction there. 42, other agency means local, state, federal, or tribal government entity that provides mental health, law enforcement, or human services. Okay, on to our next section, which is Oregon Administrative Rule 736, 0100020, General Regulations. Under 2A, we say the maximum length of stay for campers is 14 nights in a 30-night span per park property. B, the maximum length of stay for hiker, biker, boater, as defined by Oregon Administrative Rule, sites is 2 nights in a 7-night period per park property, unless approved by a park manager or delegated park employee. Manager discretion and flexibility is considered. And these areas have not been changed, so I am just going to scroll through them. I'm just leaving them because they're just a part of the rule language. And these were recently updated last year on exclusion. So I'm just scrolling through these, and this draft is available on the park page rule web page. And that'll be listed at the bottom of the PowerPoint when we get to the end. Okay, in section 11, when notified by the court of a person subject to an exclusion from park property pursuant to Oregon Revised Statute 390.997, the director will issue an exclusion in writing via certified mail to the individual. Next section is Oregon Administrative Rule 736-010-0022, violations and fines. Under number 4, we changed it from a Class C to a Class A violation, as is per Oregon Revised Statute Chapters 801 to 826 and Oregon Administrative Rule 736-010-0020. Further down under 6A, we removed the specific fine of $60. Same with 6B, we removed with a specific fine of $60. Next section is 736-010-0025, motor vehicles. Number 1, violation of this rule is a Class B violation unless park resources are damaged, which would result in a Class A violation. Number 2, we changed the word from public roadway to highways. So roadway was removed to replace with highways. Number 4, we removed the violation of this rule as a Class B violation, and we just brought it up to the top as number 1. In number 7, we removed the Class B violation language. Number 10, maintenance of vehicles is prohibited on park property without manager approval. Number 11, we updated the language of off-highway vehicle to all-terrain vehicle. In 11C, we removed the language below the maximum permissible decibel level as published on the State Park website on July 1st, 2013. Under 12C, we removed "and the availability of storage for the device if requested by the user." Under 12, it will probably be F, it says XX now. The park manager or designated park employee will provide written approval of the use of an other power-driven mobility device for the person with a mobility-related disability or their caregiver via email, text, or handwritten. "13. The use of ride-on micro-mobility device, motorized scooters, hoverboards, children's electric cars, and similar motorized devices are not allowed in areas open to the public unless approved by the park manager or designated park employee. Unless it is determined that the device cannot be operated in accordance with legitimate safety concerns for the operator, park visitors, park resources, and park facilities. May only be utilized with manager or designated employee approval. In determining if the device is being operated in an unsafe manner, the manager or designee will consider the following criteria. A, the type, size, weight, dimensions, and speed of the device. B, the facility's design and operational characteristics and volume of pedestrian traffic, which may vary at different times of the day, week, month, or year. Next letter is D, but we removed C, so we'll update that. Whether legitimate safety requirements can be established to permit the safe operation of the device in the specific facility or area. And E, whether the use of the device creates a substantial risk of serious harm to park resources or poses a conflict with applicable state laws and regulations. F, persons under 16 years of age are required to wear protective headgear unless wearing the headgear would violate a religious belief or practice of the person. Next section. This is OAR 736-010-0026, operator-propelled vehicles, cycles, or similar devices. 1. Violation of this rule is a Class D violation unless park resources are damaged, resulting in a Class A violation. Persons with mobility disabilities are allowed to use wheelchairs and manually powered mobility aids designed for use by individuals with mobility disabilities to access any areas open to pedestrian use. See, the next section is 2B. Persons under 16 years of age are required to wear protective headgear unless wearing the headgear would violate a religious belief or practice of the person. B, in the event that a person is at least 12 years of age and is under 16 years of age, violates this subsection, the notice of violation may be issued to the violator or that person's parent, legal guardian, or person with legal responsibility, but not to both. This next section down below in number 5, we added the word electric assisted bicycles or to that language. And under 6B, within designated natural areas, natural forest areas, or natural area preserves, except on roads or trails. Next section is Oregon Administrative Rule 736-010-0027 boats, and mirages. Number 1, violations to this rule are a Class D violation unless park resources are damaged, resulting in a Class A violation. Under number 2, we add the word boat instead of motorboats or other watercraft. We further did the same in number 5. We added the word boat in place of watercraft. Under number 7, a person may not swim unless in a designated swim area or engage in towed water sports or similar activity within 200 feet of boat mirage docks or facilities. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. Moorage. 8, boats are prohibited from entering established swimming areas except for emergency response. 9, the department may have a boat towed at the owner's expense if a boat is abandoned or left unattended for 72 hours or more at a park property without written permission from the park manager. Next section, 736.010.0030, domestic animals, including saddle and pack animals. Number 1, violations to this rule are a Class D violation unless park resources are damaged, resulting in a Class A violation. Number 3, a service animal must be under the control of its handler. Under the ADA, service animals must be harnessed, leashed, or tethered unless the individual's disability prevents using these devices or these devices interfere with the service animal's safe, effective performance of tasks. In that case, the individual must maintain control of the animal through voice, signal, or other effective controls. Number 3, in designated off-leash areas, handlers shall carry a leash or restraining device at all times is added to that section. Number 4, handlers must prevent their animals from harassing, injuring, or intimidating people, wildlife, and other animals. Number 5, we remove the word domestic and started with animals shall only be secured in a manner that is humane and does not cause damage to any park resources. In number 7, we remove the word and miniature horses. In B, we remove the language and just included designated swim areas and their adjacent beaches. This section under 11, we replaced the word hitch or confine to the word secure. So a handler may not secure a horse or other large animal in a manner that may cause damage to any tree, shrub, improvement, or structure. This next section is Oregon Administrative Rule 736.010.0035, livestock and farming. We added the section on violation to this rule are a Class D violation under park resources, unless park resources are damaged, which was resulting in a Class A violation. Under 2, we remove the word lawfully. The next section is 736.010.0040, visitor conduct. Number 1 is added. Violations to this rule are a Class D violation unless otherwise specified below, or park resources are damaged, resulting in a Class A violation. Peace officers may cite for criminal trespass in the 2nd degree, a Class C misdemeanor per Oregon Revised Statute 164.245. Here under 2C, we added portable gas or charcoal stoves used as established campsite, picnic areas, or beach areas where fires are designated as permissible. Under 3, we added the word or accelerated. Under 3C, we added build fires no larger than 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet in dimension. A person may apply for a special use permit under Division 16 for larger fires. Under E, use no gasoline, diesel, or any other petroleum-based products outside of camp stoves to start or maintain a fire. Under 4, we added failure to follow restrictions as a Class A violation. Number 6, we added when available, a person must stay on designated trails and may not damage park resources by going off trail or creating unauthorized trails. Under 7, a person shall in no manner cause any rubbish, garbage, refuse, organic or inorganic waste, animals, animal parts, or other offensive matter or any abandoned property or material to be placed or left at a park property, except for, and then under 8, we added Class C misdemeanor, Oregon Revised Statute 164.805. A, we added or wildlife, except as allowed in section 12 below. Under F, we added punishable as a Class A violation or cited by peace officers as a Class C misdemeanor. Under G, we added Class A violation or could be cited by peace officers as a Class C misdemeanor. Under H, we added Class A violation or could be cited by peace officers as a Class C misdemeanor. I, we added the words harassing, fighting, intimidating, or promoting, instigating, or encouraging fighting or similar violent conduct which would threaten the personal safety of any person at the park property. A, in motor vehicles and personal camping units where allowed in accordance with all applicable laws. In D, we just removed where allowed by park manager. Under M, takeoff or landing, base jumping, hang gliding, paragliding, or similar activities without special use permit. Under O, we added placing a sign, memorial, marker, or inscription. Under 12A is an organized group activity outside average recreational use for a park property was added. Under 15, a park manager may close rock formations and cliffs within a park property to descending, scaling, or technical rock climbing. We also added Class A violation or could be cited by peace officers with a Class C misdemeanor. In 16, we replaced the director or designee with a park manager and also included the language on Class A violation or could be cited by a peace officer. Next section is 736.010.0050, overnight use. Number 1, we added violations to this rule are a Class D violation unless otherwise specified below or park resources are damaged, resulting in a Class A violation. Under 4, overnight facilities shall be occupied only by persons camping and allowed visitors who have paid fees for use of overnight facilities. Under 6, we added unless otherwise designated or authorized by the park manager. In number 7, a maximum of 8 individuals may occupy one campsite overnight unless otherwise specified by a park manager. in number 9, campsites must be occupied as provided in Oregon Administrative Rule 736-015-0015, unless other arrangements have been made with the park manager or designated park employee. The registered camper shall be present each night of the stay or contact park staff if they will not be in the campground overnight. We intend to add this language to the reservation system as well. Next section, we refer to as provided in Oregon Administrative Rule 736-010-0020, Section 2. Next section is 736-010-0055, Park Resources. We added 1, violations to this rule are Class D violation unless otherwise specified below or park resources are damaged, resulting in a Class A violation. Down below under 3C, we added pick, cut, mutilate, trim, uproot, or remove any living or downed trees and vegetation. Number 4, we added a person may remove small quantities of natural products from park properties for personal use without a permit, as provided in subsections A and B. However, the department may restrict removal of natural products to specific park properties or areas of park properties by quantities of material and by time of year. Further down, it says number 7, which is not accurately numbered, but we'll fix it. A person may not uproot living plants or collect roots, tubers, flowers, and stems except with written permission of the park manager or designated park employee, and only for scientific collection or research purposes. Number 6, a member of a federally recognized Oregon tribe may uproot living plants or collect roots, tubers, flowers, and stems for personal consumption as part of their traditional, religious, medicinal, or other customary cultural heritage practices. I'm going to skip through these next sections since we did not make any proposed updates. Under this next section, 736-010-0060, alcoholic beverages, we added violations to this rule are a Class D violation unless otherwise specified below or park resources are damaged, resulting in a Class A violation. The last section, Oregon Administrative Rule 736-010-0065. Rooster Rock State Park, nudity. 1, a person, we remove the language of post-pubescent age or over 12 years of age to match the language in the Oregon Revised Statute. We further propose to remove any part of the park property west of the established boundary running north and south 100 yards east of the innermost beach access stairway and east above the approximate high water mark of the Columbia River, and added areas of the Rooster Rock State Park property as posted and indicated on park maps available on the state park website. And as I stated earlier, this section will be reverted. The first part that was redacted, the post-pubescent, that will be still redacted because it needs to match the Oregon Revised Statute. But the second section on the boundary will not be, the staff will recommend that we don't change that language at all based on public comment. So this next section is where we go into the public comment period. And in this public comment period, I will also ask if you have any questions just about the process. So it could be an opportunity for Q&A or public comment. You will be asked to, you'll be invited to be a panelist when it's your time to leave a public comment. But before you do so, I do have to read a statement. This is the section where I am required to read so that we are doing this by the rule. And this next section is really important that it's just public comment for 3 minutes. It's not a time to just ask questions, but if you have a public comment, then ask a question at that same time, if that makes sense, hopefully. We'll get through it. I just want to make sure everyone gets that respected 3 minutes of time allotted. All right, so public hearing on proposed updates to general park area rules. Oregon Administrative Rule 736, Division 10. From the definitions of 0015 to the Rooster Rock section 0065. This hearing is now in session and is being recorded to maintain a permanent record. My name is Helen Akesh, and I am the hearing officer. Today is Wednesday, January 15th, and the time is 6:14 p.m. The purpose of this hearing is to provide an opportunity for public comment on the proposed rule changes to the Oregon Administrative Rule 736-010, sections 0015 to sections 0065 by the Oregon Parks and Recreation Department regarding updates and clarification to Division 10, General Park Area Rules. The agency invites comments about whether other options should be considered for achieving the rules' goals while reducing the negative impact on business. In addition to presenting oral comments at this hearing, anyone may submit written comments until 5 p.m. on January 17th, 2025. That is this Friday, which is the close of the public comment period. Comments received after the close of the public comment period will not be reviewed or considered by the agency unless the agency decides to extend the public comment period for everyone. Send comments to the public comment mailbox or to the State Parks office. Those addresses are posted on the PowerPoint slide on my screen coming up. OPRD will not respond to questions during this hearing. After the close of the public comment period, staff will prepare a report to the agency, which will be available from the agency upon request and will be presented to the Parks Commission as they consider adoption of these rules. If you have questions as part of your testimony, I would appreciate if you could state those questions as concerns for the record. To provide better context for comments, I may ask follow-up questions. To respect each speaker, we ask anyone not presenting to remain quiet. I ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes, and a timer on the screen will let you know when the time has expired. Again, you may submit written comments up until the close of the public comment period. We ask that any formal public comment be submitted in writing via mail, email, or online. I will call names from the sign-up sheets as I have them. Before we do that, we will switch our ASL interpreter.
Helena, while you're doing that, can you actually go back to the screen that showed the Rooster Rock language? We wanted to see that again. And if anyone wants to provide a comment, if you can raise your hand, then we'll allow you to speak. You won't actually be on screen, but you will be unmuted so that you can speak, and Helena will call on you.
Now, Katie, I can't see them as I present.
Okay, why don't I can call on people that
Do you want to go to the timer?
yeah, if you go to the timer, then I will call and you can do the timer piece.
Okay.
So if you raise your hand, use the raise hand feature if you would like to provide a public comment.
Emma?
So our
Or
First comment will be from Emma. Oh, I guess you can see the person. So Emma, you are unmuted. Oh, if you click unmute.
Oh, thanks. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So I'm one of the people who uses Rooster Rock, and the only concern that I have about the proposed rule is that I mean, I received an email saying that there was a proposal that the rule could sort of be the boundaries could be adjusted just flexibly by the office depending on what the needs were. And I'm just concerned about preserving, there's only 2 spaces in Portland where people can go to enjoy recreational nudity. And I'm just concerned that there's any infringement on the space that we've enjoyed for many decades. So I'm just speaking out publicly because I'm concerned about that. I really value, this opportunity that Oregon affords its citizens. I think that it's a very normal activity, and it doesn't infringe on anybody else's right to enjoy nature also. And so I just want to make sure that those boundaries are fixed and that they don't change from what they have been recently without an appropriate public process. So thank you for accepting my public comment.
thank you, Emma.
There anyone else who, we have, so
I saw Randy.
Randy seemed to go away, but we have Bruce.
Okay.
Oh no. Randy came back. So sorry. I'm gonna unmute Randy. So Randy,
Oh, okay. I did
Yep.
not realize I was on. I can't see me. I don't know what's happening.
Yep, you are on. We can hear you.
Okay. What is this proposal that I was trying to understand some of the reading in it regarding 12-year-olds and why that specific category? Is this 12-year-olds that are showing up at the park and unaccompanied by an adult, or is this anybody that is of that age or less accompanied?
So to clarify that question, Randy, the language about the 12-year-old is to match the Oregon Revised Statute where they removed that language in the Oregon Revised Statute. So we wanted to match our language to Oregon state language.
Mhm.
That's all it is.
Okay. I was concerned about, parental decisioning being taken away. And that's the thing that caught my attention. And not by your group, but by outside interests. That's always a concern.
Oh, sure. Yeah, this is just we want to make sure that our rules match and reflect the same language that Oregon Revised statutes say. So we don't want to
Okay.
say something different. So they took out that language, so we took out the language.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bruce, you're next. You will need to unmute. You can
Go ahead, Bruce. We can't hear you, Bruce. Still can't hear Bruce. Katie, is he unmuted on our end?
Yeah, it shows unmuted. I'm gonna switch and we'll go to Jerry and then Bruce, if you want to see if it's a different microphone, perhaps, we'll come back to you. So Jerry, you can go ahead and unmute.
Okay, thank you. So what I'm understanding is that there's not anything in the rule here that is affecting the nudity use of Rooster Rock State Park. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Microphone test, microphone test, microphone test.
Okay, so so nudity in the eastern portion of Rooster Rock State Park is still going to be allowed as it is currently. Is that correct?
That is
Right.
correct.
So raise your hand again.
And there's not there's
When-
anything in the rule that is preventing that use or suggesting that the area be condensed down into any narrower portion of the park than what it is currently. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jerry.
Okay, raise hand.
So we can hear Bruce now, so we'll go back to Bruce.
Oh, good. Can you hear me?
We
Great.
can hear you.
I'm very concerned that we could lose Rooster Rock.
Oh, Bruce, we lost you again. We heard the end of Rooster Rock and then your audio went away.
There's some that
Okay.
were really
Yeah.
nice. And it begins
Bruce?
with things like this. For example,
Bruce?
with
Bruce,
yes.
we lost you for a minute. We lost your audio for a minute.
Okay, I'll
I wanted
start
to give you
over
your
again.
full 3 minutes, if that's okay.
I'm very concerned that we may lose Rooster Rock. Okay, thank you. I'm very concerned that we may lose Rooster Rock as a clothing optional beach. We've seen things like this happen before with losing many other clothing optional beaches, and they're extremely rare. I went to Little Beach in Maui, and the people were nice. We enjoyed it. It was beautiful. And but when COVID came, they shut it down, and then they never opened it back up. It is not a clothing optional beach anymore. And there are other beaches that we've lost. So this is not paranoia. It's what we see happening all around. And we're just normal people, and we just want a little space. For example, people who hunt have probably hundreds of thousands of acres or square miles of land. And we just don't want to be pushed out and pushed to, we want our space, and that should not be, just asking to be left alone should not be too much. We're just normal people who enjoy nature, but we just enjoy it in the nude. And we're not bad people. We're just maybe a little different. The differences that are not bad, just fine. And thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Bruce.
Corin, you are up next.
Thank you. I just wanted to state for the record that I'm against the proposed change to limiting camping to within 14 days in a 30-day period. I apologize, I'm very new to this process and I didn't have any opportunity to do research ahead of time, but I am curious as to what is the overall goal of that proposed change?
The intent for the 14 days within a 30-day period is to match other parks within the area, Washington State, other states, National Park Service. And it really allows for people to have their stay and then move on to another park to allow others to come in and have their stay as well.
So that's only within one park. You could stay at one park for 14 days and within the same 30-day period, you'd be able to go to another park
Yes.
within the Oregon. Okay. Okay, that's good. Sorry, I didn't understand that. So that's very, very helpful. Have there been, or my comment would be, and I'm sure there already were, other considerations made? I don't know if this is the intent to, I know it's very hard as an active camper to get into Oregon State Parks. And I feel that frustration myself. And I know in the state of Idaho, they have raised the rates significantly. They've doubled the rates for out-of-state residents. And I will say, as an out-of-state resident, that has deterred me from staying at their state parks. And if their intent is to have that be then more available for their own residents, I would say that's been a great deterrent for me. I don't know if those are other things that were considered, but I would hope that we would explore some of those options as well. I firmly believe in, first come, first serve. And I understand the intent of, people not moving into our campgrounds and living there. But if a space is available and somebody takes it and they can pay for it, I believe that they should have the opportunity to utilize it and stay there. And the other comment I would have, or kind of question, is will there be consideration for peak season versus non-peak season? Because it's very hard to get in during the summer. But in non-peak season, I would hate to see spots being unused simply because there's this rule in place. And so we have unused, unpaid for spots when we could, change the rules in peak versus non-peak season to allow people to stay there, utilize them. And then, not only are we being able to use our beautiful resources, but we're then as the state being able to get the income from people staying in there in maybe months like December and January where they're not as full. Thank you.
Thank you, Corin.
Francis, you are able to unmute.
Can I be heard?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I just kind of wanted to piggyback a little bit off of the first commenter and then also Bruce in regards to Rooster Rock. I did submit comments yesterday. And I'm really just probably one of the many people here to overreact to what may have been a minor rule change. But I guess the process, a little bit vague and kind of also a little bit clunky as far as the website to follow the rule changes, etc. I would propose that any change made to Rooster Rock have to go through some sort of more publicly visible kind of process, which I kind of submitted an idea in my comments. But really, I don't know, just the idea that at any point in time, those rules could be changed, even if it's not the intent of anybody who works at the Oregon Parks Department currently, would be an absolute shame. And I would like it if, we could propose a rule that would make it much more difficult and much more open, if that ever is to be the possibility. Thank you.
Thank you, Francis.
Are there any additional? Oh, we have one. Eric. Oh, sorry. Eric, you can unmute.
Good evening. My name is Eric Shutoff, and I'm the Executive Director for the American Association for Nude Recreation, speaking on behalf of thousands of members in the Pacific Northwest. And we do appreciate the actions that you have taken and going back a bit on the plans to revise those changes at Rooster Rock. We want to express our appreciation for that, but also to offer ourselves as a resource going into the future, not just about this issue, but everything from organizing cleanup projects at the beach and giving back to the environment and doing what we can to assist what you do, because we appreciate so much what the resource of Rooster Rock is. And I will submit information in the comments so that you can reach us if we can be of assistance to you in the future.
Thank you, Eric.
Max, you are up next.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to thank the Oregon State State Parks Department for being responsive to the concerns around people like myself around the rules with Rooster Rock. It is a very special place to me, and I'm very grateful for a quality response from the government, showing that they understand the concerns from the standpoint of frequent attendees of Rooster Rock. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Max.
Daniel, you are up next.
Hi, thank you for hosting this meeting and everyone for attending, and also to Eric for that wonderful information. I'm here to just piggyback off of the sentiments regarding Rooster Rock. I'm relatively new to living in Oregon, but I think it's a very incredible, special, and just great space, and I understand all the concern regarding changes to it. So I just wanted to be another voice out there raising that concern and just piggybacking off of that entire sentiment and just being another body speaking out. So thank you for my time.
Thank you, Daniel.
Are there additional individuals who would like to provide comment? Okay, Helena, I don't see any additional hands.
Well, thank you. This is the end of the presentation. I want to thank all of you for coming. Thank you for hanging out with us in the beginning when we had technical difficulties. Thank you to our ASL interpreters for being available and providing great work. I also want to thank everybody for their comments. This process is intended to be a transparent public comment process for everyone to have an opportunity to be heard. And if you feel like you weren't able to provide a public comment here live, you can still do so online through Friday till 5 p.m., January 17th. The website is listed on the slide in front of us, which is https://www.oregon.gov/PRP/rules-20 Sorry, that was a little painful. Then you can also provide a written comment, and you can mail that to Oregon Parks and Recreation Department, attention myself, Helena Kesh, at 725 Summer Street Northeast, Suite C, Salem, Oregon 97301. Or you can email your comment to oprd.publiccomment@oprd.oregon.gov. Again, just to remind everybody that the comments will be accepted to January 17th at 5 p.m. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.